What's going on? Yo, Raider Nation, what's going on? It's your boy Chris. Man, having some slight technical difficulties, man. Let's see what's going on. Hold on real quick, y'all. Bear with me. I don't know what's going on. Usually. Hold on, give me 1 second. Damn. Hey, y'all, bear with me 1 second, man. For some reason, my screen is acting crazy. Of course, it's gonna do that when I try to get started. Give me 1 second, y'all. There we go. There we go. I think I'm back. Man. Thank y'all for being patient, man. Had some little technical difficulties. Can everybody in the chat, can y'all see me? Give me a thumbs up if y'all can see me. We good? We good? Well, I appreciate y'all being patient with me. Looks like looks like we all good, man. Hey, appreciate you guys stopping through, man. Definitely got a good show for us today. Man, I got a special guest in the building, man. Somebody that I really respect, man. Somebody that's, was on the team, pretty much our last good team. I don't care what nobody say. That 2002 Super Bowl team, man. I'm very excited to talk to him. We got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to talk about. But before we do, you already know I gotta get my intro popping, man. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up, y'all. We about to get it popping. It's gonna be a party in here tonight, y'all.
It be that R, it be that A, it be that I, our defense bang. It be that E, it be that R, it be that S on our chest that got us far. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, just wanna be that hater. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders. Give me a snack, I'ma turn it to some racks. LA didn't wanna give us a home, but LV got us on the map. That be a fact, I've let it all on silver and black. Hard Carson and Mad Max got me Emmett, I've been down since the 90s. You don't want the black hole, homie, don't try me. Raiders roll deep, some say that we grind me, but we bring the revenue every time we grind in third and some and Wallace tongue. Renfro caught it and now he's spinning. Mariota on third, he's sprinting. R.I.P. Madden, Al Davis, and all of the Raiders fans that we lost since the beginning. It be that R, it be that A, it be that I, our defense bang. It be that E, it be that R, it be that S on our chest that got us far. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, just wanna be the hater.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chris with Protect the Shield podcast, where my opinions may not always be popular, but they'll always be authentic, man. Man, I'm having a rough day today, man. But salute to everybody that's in the building, man. Gotta always say what's up to everybody that is in the Shield Squad that is here, man. I see all my brothers in there. Shout out to my girl, Myra G, in the building, man. Myra G, my dog. She was actually made the introduction, man, to my boy Tim when we were in Vegas, man. So salute to Myra GZ. I got my boy Dub Raider in the building. What's going on, Dub? Got my boy Ingenuous Massage in the building. What's going on? Let's see. Got my boy Leo in the building. What's going on? Got all eyes on G. Got everybody in the building, man. I appreciate it. Got my boy Real Talk Raider Nation. Yeah, he was rocking with us at Barcode Burger, man, in Vegas, man. Salute to you. Got everybody in the building, man. I appreciate every last one of y'all, man. So I got my boy Aunt Six in the building, always showing love, man. Salute to him, man. But hey, I got my boy, former first team All-American, finalist for the Buck Buchanan Award for the top defensive player in the FCS. He's got the entrepreneur, the founder of the Head Impact Prevention Football League. He's a CEO of the HIP MD LLC, which specializes in development of anti-concussion brain gear. He's been dedicated to mentoring the youth, former football coach in Germany, former director of player personnel at Youngstown State. I could go on and on. Now he's in the trucking business and in the logistics business. I can just keep going, but we love him for being the former Raider linebacker and special teams standout. My guy, Tim Johnson, man. What's going on, King?
What's up, big dog? What's up, show?
What's happening?
What's up, everybody, man? I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
Man, thanks for coming through, man. And I started the show off kind of shaky, man. The technology, making me feel old or something, man. But we got it rocking though.
It's a 4-quarter game. We gonna.
You already know, yeah. I'm saying the first quarter, we how it is.
Just
win, baby. But hold on, I see you with the ring going, man. Let everybody see the ring, man.
That part.
Yeah,
it's
fire.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
AFC champions. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah. Super
That's
Bowl
hard.
37, yeah.
That's
blocked
hard.
The punt with that hand. I wear it on the right hand that I blocked the punt with,
Not to block the punt hand.
Hey, after the Super Bowl, Al sent me to do the post game interview.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, I was up on the stage doing the post game. Hey, answering questions. Hey,
That's
I
hard.
balled out.
You did.
I balled,
you did. Hey, you did your job.
I had a great time. It was a great experience. So I rocked mine with pride because not a lot of people even have that. Yeah.
As you should. But that's fire, man. But just kind of starting off where, in your beginnings, man, I know you are from Fairfield, Alabama, which from my understanding is close to where Bo Jackson from, right?
We played against McAdore High School. Yeah.
Okay.
Bo right around the corner.
Okay.
I met Bo Jackson for the first time. He drove down my hill where I live at, and I ran in the house and got a book that he and I are both in. Showed it to him, had him sign it like Bo Jackson. Yeah, man.
Man, that's fire. That's fire. Yeah. Now he's the reason I became a Raiders fan in the 90s. I mean, I'm from Ohio, so 100%. Just loved Bo, man. Loved everything about him. Did he impact you in any way, like growing up, just being from around that area?
Absolutely. You heard about the 4-1-40. You heard about how he could have went pro in baseball and did go pro in baseball, chose what team he wanted to get drafted by, not going to Tampa. Like, he was a big deal coming out of Auburn and making the choice not to go to Bama. So, Bo, a legend. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nah, legend for sure. Legend for sure. So when did you fall in love with the game of football? Because, man, just going back and just watching, like, your film, especially, like, in college, like, at Youngstown State, you just had that dog mentality. You was like a little pit bull, man. And it's like,
that's it.
From that, just watching you play, I knew that came from somewhere. But where did you kind of get that love, and how young did you, were you when you had that love?
Hey, shout out to my homie Rome Deasy out in Vegas, representing Oaktown, representing the town. But he used to come to my games, good homie. He in Vegas now, but he used to be the one called me Pitbull Vicious,
Okay.
Pitbull Vicious out there. But that was in my career in the pros with the Raiders. But when I moved from when I moved to Fairfield, we was like, second grade, and I fell in love with the game the minute I saw, like, you see my little classmates coming to school with they A.G. Gaston Boys Club uniforms on, jerseys on, Ansler Broncos coming to school. So Second grade, I wanted to play. Mama said no, so I jumped into baseball. Second grade through basically seventh, eighth grade, and but I've been loving this game. And so I had to play the game out front in the front yard or
Right.
in the street or outside the church. So I was playing anywhere I could play pickup, hot, bad man, pick 'em up. I was playing football, tackling, at a young age with no equipment. So I learned the game, with not being in the pads and helmet for
Yeah.
7, 8 years. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fire.
Yeah.
Now, when you first fell in love with the game, who were your influences? Like, did you always, want to be a linebacker? Or I know a lot of us start off at like a running back, and we got dreams of being a running back or quarterback. Or did you always know you wanted to just be a dog and just hit people?
It was all about being chosen. I mean, you go out into
Yeah.
our field. I mean, you got a bunch of older guys, bigger guys. I wasn't really playing around with the guys my age, but you get out there in the field, in the street. You got to get chosen. You got to get
Right.
picked. Now, if you could get picked,
That's
on
a
that,
fact.
yeah, you get chosen to be on that team. You went out there. All I ever wanted to do was be chosen and picked every single game to play whatever position.
Yeah.
So yeah, you hitting and tackling, or you running the football and bad man pick them up 7-on-7, whatever, you catching the ball. So you learn a lot of skills, not, being just sold into one position so early. I had fun. Yeah, probably played some special teams as well, running down, a bad man pick him up, throw it up in the air. You running down and see who's going
Right.
to catch it or who's going to pick it up, and you ready to do the same thing you would do on a punt or a kickoff. So learned a lot before I even put the stuff on.
Right. No, that's what's up. That's what's
You
up,
know,
man. But like who was your like influences, like just watching, like whether pros or just college guys that you're like, man, I want to emulate my game like him.
you start watching Monday Night Football, in the early '80s with, Lawrence Taylor really
Yeah.
sticks out. That Monday Night Football and,
Yeah.
him coming out there wrecking shop. I learned how to, watch that. Grew up on Alabama football. You got the great, late great Derek Thomas playing DN. You got the great, Cornelius Biscuit Bennett, who was one of the greatest from the area. Like you said, you had Bo Jackson, you had everybody coming in from Birmingham. You got a chance to watch those guys right from your hometown. So it was, just watching those guys lead the city and go on TV. And Bennett was right there. Cornelius Bennett was right there in Fairfield, Inslee, right there, Inslee. Just like you could see him, you could touch him, and it's like, wow, yeah, I want to
Yeah.
go pro. Then Cornelius Bennett, he bought my high school cleats, all our whole like varsity cleats, JV varsity cleats, Reebok
Mm,
cleats when he was with Buffalo Bills. So coming up and growing up, I had I could see that it's possible. The great what's that? The- what is it? Yeah, we got a lot of greats. We got a lot of
yeah.
greats.
Yeah. No, that's sweet.
I was
That's
trying to
sweet.
think. Keith McKellar from Fairfield High School. He went pro early, so it was like,
Okay, so you
wow,
had some people that you was like, okay, this could really happen. This could really happen if I do
it's
it right.
possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fire. That's fire. So I know you finished your college career out in Youngstown. That close to me, man, in Ohio. So
Yeah.
you played in national championship there. And even though I'm a Michigan fan, man, I gotta admit, you played for a legend, man. What was it like playing for Jim Tressel, man? He used to kick our butt. So that's one dude that I know probably had some kind of impact on you. And what kind of wisdom did he give you before going to the league?
Man, Tress was about faith, family, academics, graduating, getting your degree, setting your own personal goals. We had the wheel of life, or the team goals, and you write them down. You pick out what you're gonna do, what your goals are in this area, academically, sports, off the field, family, And so, once we designed those goals, it was on you to do what you said you was gonna do, and he would read them all and look at your goals. He'd sit down with you. So what I learned from Tress is a lot of structure.
Yeah,
A lot of hard work. Youngstown is a blue collar town, steel town,
yeah,
like Fairfield, a steel town. So I went from a steel town to a steel town in
yeah,
terms of where I'm from to where I was wanting to go to play a high level of football. Which when I took my recruit visit up there, I guess in January of '99, I got a chance to see the annual ring banquet. You got to see the championships from 90, 91, 92, whatever, 94, 97. And so you're sitting there saying, this is, if you're not going to Bama to play at Bama, then it's like where you're going to play ball at. So I saw the championships, a chance to play for a championship. So I signed with Trust. He offered me a scholarship. I heard it was one of the last ones they had left. So I took it and I went north. I took my game north, expanded my horizon out of the south. And that was a big deal. But, Tress was, he's like, the Phil Jackson of football in terms of zen,
Yeah,
cool, calm, collected, no pressure. Because when you prepare all year the correct way, you train, you
you're
study,
ready.
you get your mind right. By the time you get in those tough, tight games that are 3-point victories, close games, come back from behind victories, cardiac kids. Once you get to that level, we've already been mentally trained and ready to go to get these wins. So we won about what's it? In my 2 seasons at Youngstown, we were like 21-6 with a championship appearance, national
Yeah,
championship appearance, and another playoff appearance my senior year. So we had
yeah,
a good run. I like to say our record, like I say, and 2 of those 6 losses was, like I say, one was a playoff game and one was a national championship. So we had a good
yeah,
run. But Tress, talking about the league, hey,
yeah.
not a lot of players had been flowing out of there before that. Harry Delgianis went pro in '97 at D tackle to Carolina. We had a great safety, Dwight Smiley, who was lined up to be the number one safety in the country coming out, top 10 safety coming out. He ended up getting injured, didn't go his senior year. So, I mean, it wasn't a lot of talk about the league as much as it was just graduating. So
Right,
the league was
right.
my goal when I left the South. When I left East
You
Mississippi,
already knew.
I
That's what
already
I'm
knew what
doing.
my job was to do for 2 seasons.
Yeah,
So nah. But then again, Tress left and went to Ohio State. I went to the Ravens in '01. So we kind of left at the same time.
yeah, for sure, for sure, man. And yeah, so you come from a background of winning, like you know
Mm,
what it looks like, winning games, and then you go to the Baltimore Ravens, man,
mm.
and being a linebacker, and you in the same linebacking room as, to me, the greatest linebacker to ever play, Ray Lewis, man. What was that like? Like, a young Tim Johnson, going into the meetings, man. What's that like, seeing Ray right there, man?
Man, I tell you, we watched that Super Bowl in Youngstown. That was my senior
Mm,
year. We cheering for the Ravens in Youngstown in our house there, the Florida boys. So watching the Ravens win and blow the Giants out that night, I was hyped. It was a good
yeah,
game, I thought, for the Ravens. And, I didn't know at the time I was going to get private workouts with them or the Indianapolis Colts. But, I got the private workouts. They said they wanted to draft me, wrote me a nice letter. I hung it on my mom's wall. And you had Super Bowl 35 world champions on the letterhead, from Ozzie Newsome. I'm looking at that every
mm,
day, training, working out, saying, shoot, I got a shot.
man,
So
that's fire.
yeah. By the time I ended up, getting the call on draft day, which the Ravens took Ed Hartwell in the fourth round, who actually won the Buck Buchanan Award in the
I saw
FCS.
that. I saw that.
Ed took it,
Yeah.
and I mean, he
Eh,
had 3-4 year stats to my two. So I
yeah.
mean, he was up for it the year before, didn't so?
Yeah. And he was
Yeah,
a dog. I mean, it ain't like, yeah, he was a dog too. Yeah.
yeah, and taking him fourth, I wasn't thinking. I was cheering for him. Great, Ed. I know Ed. Whatever, and it's like I'm not thinking about nothing. I'm like, okay, I got the call from the Ravens, got the call from the Colts. I'm like, okay, shoot. Colts was like $2,000 signing bonus. I'm like, I ain't never played football for money, so what's 2 grand to me?
Right.
I ain't.
Right. We do that for free. That's a childhood
Ravens let
love,
it,
man.
you know. And the Ravens said they wanted to draft us. They didn't give me the call to after, but I went with the Ravens just off of just general principle. Again, not thinking about you're competing against some of the greats and draft picks and the roster. I wasn't looking at it,
Yeah.
So I went in and it was humble because you watched it. I watched him win the Super Bowl 35 MVP. And then you pull up the training camp. He pulls up in his, white truck, open the back. I run outside. I go, look. So I go open up. He opened up the back. I grab his luggage out the back. And the thing that I remember is when I looked up to the dash, they had them stitched Super Bowl 35 MVP in the dash. As a rookie, I'm pulling the luggage out. They give you the car. The MVP gets the car
That's
every Super
hard.
Bowl. And so just pulling the luggage out, pulling it in, and just being a rookie, just doing stuff without being pestered and pushed around. And
Yeah.
just got him jumped into my grown man stuff. I mean, working for it, you get there, you humble, and it was great. You get in the film room, and everything is so detailed. The defenses are so detailed, and he had a lot to do with that. You know, along with Marvin Lewis, you know, Rex Ryan, Mike Smith, you know, Mike Note, like
Yeah, man.
all those guys, we was all
Dog.
stacked. Yeah, so I was like, you
Dogs.
know, the influence that he had on the defense, you could tell, but those defenses were so specific and so detailed with Marvin Lewis that I learned so much in there. And you know, you made a mistake, you knew it. You know, but
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, that room had 7, 8, like 9, 10 linebackers in it, maybe more, and like
All
seven,
dogs.
7 of them had just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you competing and you got to, you know, Ed fourth round and me. So to make that opening day roster, some kind. So yeah, I made the opening day roster, undrafted, Ed Harwell fourth
Yeah,
round.
that
You
man.
know, yeah, I went in and had to do some dog like grown men, like you got to grow up really fast. So I made opening day roster against Chicago Bears, and you know the rest was history. You know,
No, that's fire. That man, that I mean, that just says a lot, man. I mean, just with
yeah,
that linebacker room. I mean, like I said, I just remember how cold they were. That defense was, man. And salute to Marvin. So I always say Marvin is one of the best defensive minds ever. And you probably know more than me, man. I'm just a
yeah,
fan, but you know, I can
yeah,
only imagine what those practices was and how his mentality was and all that, man. So
yeah. It was amazing. It was.
yeah, I bet. So speaking of, you know, you being a youngin in the Ravens, man, I you know, gotta bring up this, man.
They are tight ends. That's great. Shoot up, shoot up. Oh, there you go. I ain't see you have my head down. So, Shannon Sharp, I know the Baltimore Ravens been hit with a lot of injuries. Yes, we have. I seen that special HBO School of Hard Knocks when Sarah Gooser had locked the tight ends in the room.
You humiliated me on national television, so I want restitution.
Well, yeah, I knew that Goose had I knew Goose had something to do with that, and I told Goose then, I said, Goose, I want my restitution. You man, you get to talking and I forgot what we was talking about. That's why I got Super Bowl rings and you don't.
That walkout was cold, man. Tell me how that came about, man. Because I know y'all had to do your little rookie hazing or whatever, man. But man, you had Shay on point. You had Shay on point, man.
Man, during training camp, I don't know. I used to just go hang out with the veterans. Not say hang out. I would, as a undrafted free agent, I didn't have the money. Uh, I had to, you know, go over here over Ed House. He had the, you know, fourth round money, hang out with him. Had to go over, you know, Cornell Brown house. He had the money, had to hang out with him. So, you know,
Yeah.
I ended up, yeah, Ray invited me over his house my rookie year. I was at Ray house my rookie year, just, you know, hanging out. But at the end of the day, I was sitting over Cornell Brown house, and he went to V Tech, and we was just chilling. And so when they were filming the show, we would get to watch the preview, the show before the world watched it.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
were watching it like on it came out on like a Thursday for y'all, but we watch it on like a Wednesday. And we was watching it and chilling. And I went to talking like that around him, just acting crazy. And he was laughing so hard. And then he was like, "Oh, you got to do that. You got to do that for the rookie show." I said, "Well," he said, "Do it again." So anyway, that's how that came about. CB, I give you the credit for that. But you know, they were talking about putting guys in the cold tub. They was talking about taping people to the goalposts and singing
Black.
your high school alma mater, college alma. I was like, I'm not doing none of that. Like,
Yeah, I'm a grown man, bro.
like what's going on? You know, is this real or what? So I did the realest thing I could do, which was, you know, we used to talk like that as kids growing up, like my
Yeah.
uncles and extended family, they would talk like that. So we had been talking, our uncle's family, like I have been playing around joking like that. So the voice did ain't nothing something I tried to create or study.
You
We had
had
two
him,
or three.
bro. You
Yeah, we
had
were
him.
already. I
You
got like
had
I
him,
say, me and Shake must be family because I got family members kind of talk like that, close friends and stuff.
man.
So, that's kind of how that came about, and I just went in there and did my thing at the rookie show because you could do what you want to do to not get taped up or thrown in the cold tub. So
Right,
that's just
right.
how that turned out.
No, that was fire. That's just a memorable and that was the first season ever of Hard Knocks too, wasn't it?
Yeah, the original Hard Knocks, that was the
Y-
first one. And
Yeah,
I can't believe it still plays like 24, 25 years later.
bro, it is
Uh,
funny,
yeah,
man.
and what HBO ain't but like 50 years old. So just to have been on HBO for 25 years in my life, like, like you couldn't have told me that would have came with football.
Right. No, you're man. Just yeah, it's funny, man.
Yeah,
So
that
to
was the
everybody in the
beginning of
chat.
that was the beginning of you know, reality shows too. And
Yeah, that's true.
no protein
That's
had ever
true.
let cameras in, and the NFL had never done it. So, reality had hit us right there, and so we took off with it.
Yeah, nah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, y'all, yeah. I honestly, I love that. And the crazy thing is just that.
R.I.P. Goose, R.I.P. Goose,
Yeah,
my bro Goose, man, like good
cool.
people, good family. He really was very supportive, even post career, like good dude,
Yeah,
good family, his sons, and kids and wife and stuff. He left behind, but that was a sad time. But we had to come together again as Ravens to support,
Goose. Yeah,
support Goose family. So
yeah, yeah. Rest in paradise to him, man. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of Raider fans. We have a love hate relationship for Goose. The way he did our boy Rich Gannon, man, that year before it was nasty.
you gotta
But
pounce on it. You gotta pounce on it.
yeah,
You hate it. You
yeah,
hate it, but that's how
yeah.
tough they were.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
oh yeah. Goose was a beast. Goose
Mhm.
was a beast. But yeah, man. But let's get into this Raider talk, man. Let's get to the Raider talk. So you played 4 years for us, man. How did it feel when you first put on that silver and black for the first time? We got by far the best uniforms. So I know you was in the mirror just
Hey,
styling on them.
when your owner wearing all white silk,
So cold. So
with a
cold.
towel, white towel, he smooth, he fresh, shades on, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Al Davis was the thing for me after watching Bo play for so long, the greats out there. And when I got there, I had just left Chicago Bears. It was after the Ravens versus Bears and the World Trade Center blew up. The world opened back up. Uh, I left Baltimore and went to Chicago for a season and a half, and then that's how I ended up in Oakland. So I was in Oakland week one of that '02 season and stuff. So, like I say, Al Davis to go from a storied franchise like
Yeah,
Baltimore Ravens who came down from Cleveland an Oak to a Chicago Bears with George Hallis, and then to
yeah.
go to Al Davis to the
Legendary.
Raiders.
Legendary.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought Al don't play about talent. He didn't play about speed and Raider player. So to
Yeah.
be young and going to Al that soon, it really took my career took off then. But yeah, the silver and black in the '80s, mid
Oh,
'80s, early '90s, that was all on TV. That was all in the
yeah.
hood. It was all
Yeah.
in the school, worldwide, nationwide. So, yeah, I knew what time it was in terms of what the standard is for a Raider.
For
And
sure.
so
So what
it
was
was
your
amazing.
what was your first interaction with okay, so two questions. So what was your first interaction with Al? And then kind of give me like your most memorable interaction with him.
Well, Al, he walked through the halls all the time. He was at practice all the time,
Yeah.
and if Al wasn't saying nothing to you, you was doing good. So you wanted to go, you wanted to come in the building, you wanted to go to practice, you want to come off
Yeah.
the field, go to film study, and you don't want
Yeah.
Al to have said nothing to you, but maybe what's up, and he would say hi, what's up, or this or that, every now and then. But the one point that sticks out with me is I forget what year it was, but he ended up after the season, one of our seasons, he ended up calling me upstairs to his office. And I'm like,
Uh-oh.
yeah, that's what I said. I said, what's going on? So I shot up there, and lo and behold, you open the door, you walk in, and it's just all white carpet. The
Yeah.
room lights up because the carpet is all white. He's sitting
Yeah.
there at his desk, and you know, he was like, "Have a seat." I sat down across from him, and believe it or not, Al was asking me questions about the team, about players.
Mhm.
What did I see? What did I like? Did I like this guy? Did I like what was about that I saw that I sat there and gave him perspective of different players, different guys, the team, the concept, and that right there is the thing that I remember about Al having respect for me, even in
Yeah,
my position as a special teams ace to a backup, starting backup, and then I started my games out there, for whatever, how many games I started out there for Al. So for
yeah,
me to last, 4 years, and I did. I left and went and tested free agency. I think I had a contract that I just kind of said, you know what, let me test free agency, and that was kind of the end of me leaving Oakland. But
yeah,
no, Al was the realest. He kept it real, kept it 100, and his family, and obviously Mark Davis now. It's the real deal. Al
yeah,
Davis and the Raiders is the real deal and stuff. So I was just proud to be balling and having and creating a career.
yeah. No, that's what's up. Now, did was Mark around back then? Like, did was he kind of relevant as far as in and out? Or
Yeah, well, Al wasn't having that. Al was running the show. I mean, Mark, you see
yeah,
him around at a game or two or on a bus. You see Al's wife, you see them around, but Mark wasn't involved in no football operations that I saw. Or he wasn't talking about no plays. And Al was really a coach. Al was
right,
looking at the defenses and telling us what to do, telling the
yeah,
coaches what to like. He ran that organization on both sides of the football, all three phases. So, uh, it was just crazy.
yeah. Talking to my guy, Hugh Jackson. One thing that he was telling me, man, he was like, yeah, when Al hired me, he was like, I'm gonna have you run the offense, but I'm running the defense, and I just thought that's so wild. So
Hmm.
So I mean, was that still true back then, and like where he was really the true defensive coach almost? Well, he may have not been like calling X and O's, but like everything kind of went through him on defense.
Everything goes through
That's
him.
wild.
Everything went through him. I don't care if it was an offensive player. I don't care if it was a guy getting ready to make some money on a contract. I don't care if it was a defensive play scheme or packages. Again, we had packages where I was on the field playing a lot. Didn't start a lot of games, but I played in a lot of games because of the packages Al would have us
Yeah,
in to show different stuff. And we played a lot of 3-4 stuff. I ended up on the field a lot with that, but once we got out of the 4-3 under Chuck, we went to the 3-4 on Rob Ryan and
yeah,
and stuff. So Al ran the D, and if he had anything to say about offense or player, it happened. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
That's crazy, man. So then again, being a young player, you're still young at this point. Um, you leave a team like the Ravens, where it had Ray Lewis and all them, and then you come to a team with some bona fide Hall of Famers, first ballot. You got Jerry Rice over there, Tim Brown over there, Rod Woodson, but you probably already kind of knew Rod from the Ravens. Young
Mhm.
Charles Woodson, you got dogs like Rich Gannon that win MVP that year, Big Lincoln Kidney. I go on and on.
Mhm.
What was
Mhm.
it like walking into that facility and just being surrounded by just greatness? Like, could you tell that like this team could be something special right away?
Well, week one, when I got there, Jerry Rice stood up and said, 10,000 to the top special teams player. And that was the
Mm,
Super Bowl season. So I mean, that's one of the first things I heard. He stood up in the team meeting that first Wednesday, week one, and I heard that. I'm like, ooh, you know. So because the season before obviously was the tough rule. So
yeah,
we
yeah,
brought everything back except Gruden,
yeah.
and so we was stacked. We was ready to go. So I had to just come in and fill whatever role I was in, which at the time was practice squad. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
I sat on practice squad till week 11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that was
Al activated me week 11 at Arizona.
nice. Okay.
So
Yeah,
I
because that,
played.
that was the year we had we had Romanowski.
Yeah,
Who else was Greg Beaker on, was he on that team or nah?
Beak had just left. I came in.
Okay,
Beak left. Yep. Yeah, we had
okay.
Romo. We ended up drafting Napoleon Harris that year. That was his rookie year.
Yeah,
Travian Smith, and we had a nice linebacker. Eric Barton had a nice linebacker room
Yeah,
in terms of that. But we were good at EJ, Eric Johnson. So I mean, we had a nice room, and we knew what we was gonna do. But like I said, I got active week 11 of that season, and I played, and that was at Arizona. So I played like 6 games in the regular season. We had a first round bye. Then the Jets came in town in the divisional round, and
smacked him,
then the Titans came in the
smacked him.
AFC Championship round, and then we
Yeah.
went to San Diego. So in 6 regular season and three postseason games, I won the 10,000.
Mm.
So yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
You took Jerry's money.
I had to. He said that we won. I had to wait, a whole season to get it, but I had to wait 11 weeks to even get active to go out there and ball
That's
like a
hard.
hog.
That's
And so
hard.
we did. We had to do. We had to do. So we did it. And he asked me on one of the. I think we was on the plane or something on the way back. He said, "How you want it?" I said, "What's that?" He said, "Yeah, you won it. You won the money." I said, "Oh wow." He said, "How you want it?" I said, "Man, write me a check so I
Mm.
can photocopy it and put it on my mama wall." And that's
Mm.
just what he did. I still got that,
Mm.
photocopy to this day framed up. So it's on my social media. But yeah,
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 yeah, I've
that's
seen it. That's
that's
hard. That's
yeah,
hard. That
yeah,
I
that's
love that,
legit.
man. I love that,
Yeah.
man. Just for Jerry to even say that, man. He didn't have to say that.
Hey,
But
he knew that third phase is gonna have to win us a Super Bowl. We needed
yeah,
everybody. So
yeah.
that's the mindset.
Yeah, that's man, that's sweet, man. And I know you was on defense, man, but what was it like just seeing because he's always known for his crazy work ethic, just the way he practiced. What was it like seeing that?
You see him toe tapping every ball he catch, he running every route full speed. If you don't if the ball ain't where he wanted, he ain't catching it because it's got to be where he at and right. He ain't reaching, jumping, diving for nothing. It's
I need it
it's
where I need it. Yeah,
precise. So to watch him work his butt off every day, and he's one of the guys. You walking through the hallway, he'd say something to me, something great. Tim Brown, something great. They both worked hard at practice to get they good, reps in and run things perfectly in that offense. Uh, but yeah, I mean, Jerry was the best in terms of how hard he worked, and he ran in the off season, ran the hills, and he did everything you had to do. And so that's why
yeah,
I respected what he was asking for and what he presented.
yeah. No, that's yeah, it's man, that's crazy.
I
Like you,
mean,
I mean,
hey, it was an away game. We went somewhere to some city, and Jerry's like, "Hey, look, you going with me?" I mean, forget curfew, forget anything. I jumped in the limo. We went out, hung out, and went some spot, and I'm with Jerry Rice. You know what I'm
can't
saying?
tell you nothing.
Just me and
Can't tell
Jerry,
you
right?
nothing.
And forget this the night before, man. Forget curfew, and I'm with Jr. So
I'm with Jerry.
yeah, the veterans really, I came in the game, as a man, and all of the legends that I ever was a part of on those teams, all the Hall of Famers they all respect, they always like, they to this day, we had
Yeah,
a relationship. Okay, from Ray to Jerry Rice to Randy Moss came in. I went out, hung out with
oh, that's right.
Randy,
Yeah,
Warren Sapp. Charles Woodson drove from Atlanta in a limo, rode in a limo from Atlanta to come to Birmingham to have celebrate my birthday one year. That's when
that's
I know
fire.
Wood. We walked up in the platinum. You Wood, so yeah, my dogs, and they're my real dogs.
Yeah, no, that's fire.
Yeah.
And again, me being a Michigan fan, being from Ohio, Woodson from
Hmm.
Ohio, he's my favorite player of all time,
That's
Charles
right.
Woodson. And one thing that I remember just kind of researching about him, like when he first came in the league, when he was, in the beginning with the Raiders, was a lot different than when he came back to the Raiders, as an older guy, because he was more ready to be a leader when he came, after he won the Super Bowl with the Packers and all that.
Mm.
But how was young C Wood? Because I heard some things. I heard young C Wood used to have fun. He was a little wild sometimes. I don't know if that was true or not. He liked to kick it, but like I said, but I know when he came back, he was really on his mentor and like he really grew. So I just
Mhm.
was curious if you notice a difference between young C Wood and then when he came back.
Man, look, every practice we had, Wood wasn't stretching. Wood, the normal stretch. Yeah, Wood back there doing his own thing. When practice came, he would like work, get to his stuff, and he wasn't really even trying hard. Like he was so good, he didn't even
Yeah,
have to try hard. So
kind
smooth,
of stuff I heard. Yeah,
and but that's his game, and he's a
yeah,
Heisman winning
yeah,
NFL Hall of Fame
yeah.
quarterback. So you had to respect that. Whatever he was, however his, him, Charlie Garner, those are my homies, Wood and Chuck.
Oh,
You know,
Gardner, I
I
like
would,
Gardner's game.
I kind of be around Chuck and Wood. They were close. I mean, I could try to get in it, but they were real legit veterans even then. I saw Wood do his business. He was a grown man handling his business, so he did his job. He matched up on every single receiver that we ever had, big time. We could lock him on TO and we could play defense. We could lock him
Woo,
on, yeah, any receiver, and we had a great defense. So, it don't matter who came in there, Wood, we had to lock him up. So
man,
Wood is an all-time Hall of Famer.
special, man, special.
Ball
Like you,
hard, play
man,
hard.
he was around some dogs, man. And then,
You can't
and
you
even
can't do nothing
then,
less.
yeah, that man, that's fire. That's fire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't be nothing less than the dog around dogs.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Real quick, man. So during that season, that was a season after they traded Gruden. What was the morale of the team? Because it's like, I mean, that's such a unique situation where it's like you got a young coach that you went in the division under him, you know, and then he gets traded away. How was the guys? I mean, did you hear any chatter about it? Did they not care? Did they move on, or what was that? What was that like?
Al Davis was the owner, coach, and
Yeah,
he was a player's owner, player's coach. So long as Al was there, it didn't matter who was there, player or coach, because
yeah,
he always came again to us, asking
yeah.
us, the players, about the coaches, not coaches about the players.
That's
So
wild.
we
That's
we had
wild.
the power to run the coach off, you know.
That's crazy.
So whatever it is, Al running it. We tell Al what we want with the coaches, and the coaches know we have the power, so they have to submit to the locker room and the guys in the
That's
room. So at the end of the
that's
day,
crazy.
that's how it was. So I'm saying that he wasn't missed until the Super Bowl. When you looked
Yeah,
up, yeah, you don't miss Gruden until it's a Super Bowl loss against him. Now you missed him,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
it
Like
was
he
rock
know
and
what.
roll.
Yeah,
Yeah, you couldn't tell that he wasn't there up until the Super.
yeah. I mean, because I think that offense, at least from a statistic standpoint, I think it ran better without him. Like I think 'cause Rich Gannon won the MVP that year, so he was killing it.
Again,
So
once I can control and do more, and Callahan, you just coming from O line to hit, I'm gonna do
yeah,
this. I'm gonna do that. We do so, man. We could really ball. Long as you made plays, you could ball
yeah,
hard as you wanted to. And we had a saying say, go hard, go fast, but if you make a mistake, do it full speed.
yeah. Make it 100 miles
Yeah,
per
we
hour.
we can we can coach that. We can't coach us half going
Yeah,
halfway and doing
yeah,
things the wrong way as well. So
yeah. And the crazy thing when you think about that year, everybody talks about that high powered offense. But y'all are some dogs on defense too. I think y'all was like the fifth or sixth best defense in the league. What
mhm.
made that side of the ball special on defense?
I give Wood and I give Romo. Wood had the corner on lock, and Romo had the edge on lock in terms of being a Sam up on the line. On a
Mm-hmm.
4-3 system, Eric Barton was really good in the middle. Had young Napoleon Harris in there in his rookie year, and then you had 3-4. You had Travian Smith on the backside, just as strong as Romo. So our front seven, including you
The
had
big boys
the
up
front
front.
big boys up front. You had
Yeah.
what's that?
The Sam? Sam.
Trace
Yeah.
Armstrong. Yeah, always got John Perrella. You had them boys up front,
Perrella. Yeah, Perrella.
yeah,
Yeah.
the back end again. You had a nice safety, nice corners, and Torrey James, and I mean
Yeah. Rod was back
Rod
there.
Woodson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you had
Yeah.
everything you needed. I mean we were just built to for a run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Before we get to like the actual Super Bowl itself, man, but how intense were the practices? As far as like, did y'all get after it in the practice, or was it more, being more efficient and, like what, 'cause I think back about my high school and a little bit of college days, as higher up you go, the less like real contact you have, you more or less trying to be clean and efficient. But I was just curious, how was those practices, at that level?
Fast, super fast. And the biggest thing with
Yeah,
all of that money on the field, the receivers, running backs, stay up. You can do your
can't
job.
touch them.
You ain't gonna don't touch these bodies.
Yeah,
Tag off on them at worst, but if don't, no pushing, no shoving, no push. Don't put my players on the ground. And you learn how to practice like a professional. So but we practiced hard. Now, me being young, I was in there ramming up into the A guy. I was coming up in there busting fullbacks head.
yeah,
I was got hey whoever had the ball, I'm coming. Hey, whoever's pass rush, I'm giving good looks. I'm giving good. And it's like, hey, look. Man, look, hey, look, guys was cutting deals with me to, you know, help them look good. Don't crush
calm
them.
down.
Don't hit them hard. Hey, look, let's. So, I had to learn pretty much, how to practice in terms of saying I'm doing my job, but I ain't taking no shorts. So at the end of the day, I was busting heads and doing my job, but and giving guys a good look on the other side of the ball to prepare them to be the best they can be. So we're gonna be, we ain't getting a good look. So I did my
Yeah,
job as coming in on what I had to do as a backup and on special teams. So for me, I was just filling my role and
yeah,
coming in, and like I said, I had to learn. But then as the season went on and we started out 4-0. Then we
yeah.
dropped four
You
straight,
dropped
and we
four.
sitting there at 4-4.
It gets real all of a sudden.
We ran off another straight eight or something like that, and then dropped one, then got. But at the end of the day, we end up, as you get better, as you look at the schedule, 2, 3, 4 weeks away, you say, look, here's what we got to do. Then you say, okay, let's really practice efficient, smart, stay up, less pass, less tackling, less thudding, and now you saying, okay, we're preserving our bodies for another 4 weeks in the postseason, but you got 4 weeks to play in the regular season, so you got to plan physically to take care of the guys. And
Yeah,
Callahan did a good job of that with Tim Brown, Jerry Rice. Wasn't nobody finna do wasn't nobody finna do nothing crazy. Rich Gannon. So we had a good nucleus of veterans that Rod Wilson that had been there before, won championships before that. It's like, okay, this is how you take care of your team. So, and Al did a good job of it.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, so when we get to what? Okay, before I get there, were there any players in particular that kind of helped? Like you had some good battles in practice that may have just helped you get better. Was there any guys that you were just like, hey, it's iron sharpen iron type thing?
Yeah, I mean that's on both sides of the football. Whether you pass rushing Barry Sims or Lincoln Kennedy or Barrett
Yeah,
Robbins or whoever you're pass rushing. Yeah, Frank Middleton.
some
Whether you're
dogs up
playing
there.
one-on-one coverage against Charlie Garner or one of the fullbacks or Tyrone Wheatley, you had to play football.
Yeah,
And so, on the defensive side of the ball, linebacker drills, you got Romo in there going crazy, doing crazy stuff, getting mad, and so you had to, yeah, it was both sides of football. You had to kind of, do your job and take care of each other. But I think the fullbacks, because the fullback was integral back in those days, and our back, uh, leading up on the fullback was the majority of looks, the majority of plays. Everything else was basic, but when it came time to put the pads on and practice hard, it was inside drill. You had to get right. You had to get right.
yeah,
Now, again, in Baltimore, it was different. In Chicago, it was different. In
yeah,
Oakland, it was different because again, it was more veterans and more Hall of Famers, so it was that much more different because of the
right.
players.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep.
Um, so going to so you got like you said, you guys had the 1-4, lost 4, and then I think you guys almost ran the table, set maybe one game,
Mhm.
in the seasons. But you guys came into the playoffs super hot, smacked the Jets, smacked the Titans. What was the team feeling like? Like where was y'all's confidence level at? Going into the Super Bowl. I mean, I think you guys were favored by 3.5. Like what was the psyche of the team?
Hey, I don't know. I know when we looked at the schedule and you look at the last 4 regular season games and what we had to do to finish with the record, and you look at what the playoffs looked like, and then you looked at the Super Bowl. What we knew was when you went out after that last loss, and when you went out, you got home field advantage.
Yeah.
You got home field advantage for the first round bye if you win all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get in the playoffs no matter what, the Super Bowl in San Diego. So you're not leaving California. That
You
was
ain't
the
leaving
thing.
Cali. You
We
ain't
ain't
leaving
leaving
Cali.
Cali. That was the thing. We're not leaving Cali. That's all we got to do is take care of our business. We ain't got to leave Cali, and that was our pitch, and that's how we move it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's crazy. So then, now the part where would drive Raider fans crazy and we just can't get our mind off of it. So, you hear the chatter leading up to the game. We hear what Jerry said. We heard what kind of Tim said regarding Callahan, with potentially sabotaging and changing the game plan and all that stuff. Would ultimately kind of set Barrett Robbins off. And again, this is just us hearing it from fans. From your standpoint, what was all that about? What from your standpoint? I want that nitty gritty, man. I want that nitty gritty.
Let me give you the high level. Let me give you the high level.
All right, you give me high
The
level. I'll take high level.
is your division foe is the San Diego Chargers.
Okay.
Your practice field during Super Bowl week is at Chargers practice facility.
Okay.
They got mirror tint around their windows overlooking the field as you're practicing. Okay. And then there's yellow jacket security guards, quote unquote, standing up on the mountains above the practice field and facility. They standing up there doing security. So I'm thinking, man, somebody's standing behind that mirror tent watching us practice. This is the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a bitter rival. This is real. Like, this is real hate. And
Yeah.
so I'm thinking somebody watching us practice and telling people what we're doing. I don't know if it was the security guards and yellow jackets on the hills and mountains or whether it was people behind the mirror tent, but however it happened, our game plan was not on balance one way or the other, whether it was in-house or whether it was outside the house. Our game plan was just busted in that one game. And I factor all of it in there, the players, the coaches,
Yeah.
the changes, the adjustments or the lack thereof, not
Yeah.
running the football enough,
Right. Right.
which they Tampa 9-7, and everybody knew you run the ball up the middle on Tampa. That's why they was 9-7.
Yeah. Especially
So
with our offensive line. We have big hogs up there.
So when you change the game plan to pass all night and throw the ball 65 times, then that's what you get, 5 picks out of 65, 60 plus throws. I mean, the numbers are just not there. If you run the ball half the time, 30 for 30, it's a different ball game. Even when the game came down and it was like 31-18, it was 7-some minutes ago or something like that. Had you gone for one each touchdown, it's 31-21, a 2-possession game, 10 points.
Yeah.
With 6-7 minutes to go, which ain't that shabby, right?
Yeah,
So
because
the 31-18
Yeah.
has it hurt on the back end.
Yeah.
Just from not kicking extra points. It was everything that could go wrong. So I blocked the
Yep.
punt.
I was about to say,
somebody got to make a play. Yeah.
He said, I got it. I'll make a play
Somebody got
then.
to make
I'll
a
make
play.
a
What's
play.
going on out here? Like this, I ain't, but we drew up the play. I told the dude, you go, I think was that Clarence Love. I said, you go hard, take your guy hard and inside. I told EJ, take his guy hard and outside. And
I got the rest.
give me the one-on-one on the tackle, and that's what we drew up, and it worked out. So
Yeah, that was a crazy play because then it's like, all right, it ain't over yet. It ain't over.
it wasn't over. It was never over. It ain't never over with me and it ain't never over. Yeah, I had to throw myself a plug. It ain't over with me and baby.
Hey, I feel it, man. It's just, man, it's just as a fan, man, it just drove us crazy because it was so hard watching that game because we're like, man, this ain't us. That's all I was just looking at. Like, it's not us. Because Gannon Gannon was always just efficient. It's like he always knew before, like he was almost like Peyton Manning back then. So just like, and I know everyone wants to give Gruden all the credit because they talking about how they were calling the plays and all that stuff. I'm not sure, was that true? Did you hear them saying like the defense kind of was calling the plays before it happened?
Of
Any
course, of course. It's
Okay,
easy to read. Once you line up a certain way and John Gruden know the
yeah,
offense, John
yeah,
Gruden could have potentially gave them our offensive pass playbook.
mm,
He just left with it.
yeah,
You running some of the same plays.
yeah,
Gruden
yeah,
didn't go over there and start running the whole nother offense.
yeah,
He went over there
yeah,
and ran his offense.
yeah,
So it was his offense versus his offense. And if you ever throw the ball, you ended up in that situation. I thought, we just should have ran the football. That's plain and simple.
mm.
Yeah.
And then and again, we don't gotta get too deep. But so the whole issue with Barrett Robbins was, I mean, was it just too much for him to kind of deal with the last minute changes? It was just like, it was just, whatever's going on from a mental health standpoint or whatever, like, could the team see a difference of something building up before he kind of went AWOL?
Man, it struck everybody by surprise. I mean, everybody wanted to play in a Super Bowl, so why would a guy not show up or or not be around in a crucial situation? I really never got the real red line details about it. You hear
Yeah,
things in the blog talks 20 years later, but
yeah,
I never really understood what happened. I heard a bunch of different stories that I don't know what to believe. I heard a couple different versions of stories that but it depends on who it's coming from. And I was hearing Jerry Rice and Tim Brown chime in on what they thought. They got the
yeah,
video on the internet. They were
yeah,
saying what
yeah.
they
That
thought happened. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's where I
yes.
got that from. I was just like, yeah,
Oh,
that they
okay.
made it seem like that sudden change just kind of, and then they were saying that Barrett was begging them, like, no, don't change it, man. Let's run the ball. You know,
Wow.
that. So I thought that was interesting, man, because Barrett was a beast. Like, I think he was a Pro Bowler at that point. I think he was one of the best centers in the game, man. So yeah, it was,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, it couldn't have everything that could have went
did,
wrong. Yeah, it
yeah,
did. So like I say, I listening to those guys' accounts, it's like, well, they might know more than somebody else, but
yeah,
either way, B Rob, great guy, great family. Like it's just a part of the game, man, that in the national championship game down in Youngstown and down in Tennessee when Youngstown versus Georgia Southern, we had a guy end up not making it because of drug test or something. So you
mm,
without that player in a
it's a big deal.
championship in the
Yeah.
so national championship, world championship. So everything it's a team sport. And if you missing one screw, one cog in the wheel, it's off, And I think that's what happened. One thing, one part missing, it ain't gonna work right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just such so heartbreaking, man. Just as a fan, like, I know I at that point, even though we lost, I'm like, we're gonna run it back next year, man. I'm sure you guys probably thought it too. I ain't thinking 2025, we still looking for another playoff win, you know what I'm saying? But so so that's that year. Going into the next year, um what was a big change, because I think we went, from having that good year to only winning 4 games. I know Gannon ended up getting hurt, but did you notice any changes just from people's attitude or just the way they was working in the off season?
Man, it was like Super Bowl hangover, for
Okay.
us. You made it, had a big run, and you got deflated and just never got it pumped back up. It just wasn't something you could repair with another season. You had to make other, key acquisitions, key moves. You had to bring in new replacements. This guy left, that the guy left. You had to, go from one defense to another. I mean, it was like, and then I think that was the season Callahan said that we playing like the
The
dumbest team
dumbest
in
team.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I
that
was gonna
lost the
ask
whole.
next. He
Yeah.
lost. I know he lost y'all then.
Man, guys got up and walked out of the whole meeting. Like, who,
Did they?
what? I'm gone. Yeah, this guy got up and walked out the whole thing. So, you lost the locker room early, and we
Yeah.
never gained it back, and it was just went down the hill from there.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
and I know Al. I know Al was probably hot because I know he ain't gonna tolerate no coach talking to his guy about his guys like that. So I know he was hot.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah,
Man.
that was the end of that. And then he never got it back. It went across ESPN, and wasn't nobody having that. Talking crazy back then with no social media. No
Yeah.
protests, no cancellation. Yeah, you couldn't
Yeah.
cancel him. It was like it
Yeah.
was real though. But he found out. And then Callahan, I don't think he meant no harm. But again, you're dealing with grown men, grown
Grown
dogs,
men,
and
man.
ain't nobody hearing that.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you want us to
Uh,
go out and ball for you and go crazy for you,
right.
you know. Yeah.
Right. And you gonna say this? Like, nah, because it's almost like he didn't take no accountability first. I don't know. I just remember that like it was yesterday. I lost all respect for him at that point, man. All respect. So, um,
Yeah.
you know, you said in the later years, like Moss ended up coming over, Sap ended up coming over, but it seems like at that point there was like no cohesiveness. I mean, what was it like kind of having those guys? You probably spent a little bit more time with Sap since he was on your side of the ball. What was that like? Was that, was he somebody that at least brought a little something to the room? Oh, did I lose you? Think I may have lost you for a second. Everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, y'all. Think I may have lost Tim for a second. Salute to my boy Severe. my guy, my guy. Yeah, I think I lost Tim for a second. Everybody in the chat, can you guys still hear me? Are we still good? Salute everybody. Salute Myra G, the Raiders fan, man. I appreciate all you guys in the building. Like I said, I may have lost Tim for a second. We'll probably be right back. Man, yeah, Tim's talking that talk, man. He's talking that talk. Yeah. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Got my boy Turf in the building. I see everybody, man. Again, my boy Severe in the building. Salute to all y'all. Um, yeah, definitely. We're gonna wait a second to get Tim back up in here. Let's see who else. All eyes on G in the building. Got Dub Raider. Got Toddy in the building. What's going on, Toddy? Got Raiders folk Chris in the building. What's going on, my guy? Got Raider Paul in the building. What's going on, Paul? Got Terrence Sledge. All right, got my boy Tim back. Got my boy Tim back. I think he getting set up. Man, appreciate y'all being patient today, man. Got Cool Kev in the building. Got my boy Terrence Sledge in the building. Salute to all y'all, man. Got that Raiders fan. Let's see. All right, I think Tim's almost ready. I think I saw Raf in the building earlier. What's going on, Raf?
Yeah. But
Cool. I got you.
yeah. Had to go to commercial break. The sponsor had to go shoot a
You know what
quick
I'm
commercial.
saying?
Sorry about that. Yeah.
No, y'all good. Y'all good. But yeah, but like I was saying, just real quick, I'm about to wrap it up pretty soon, man. I definitely respect your time. But yeah, like having like a Warren Sapp. Any good Warren Sapp stories you had?
Sal, man, he just was a dog, man. I mean, like, he man, Sal was funny, man. There's a lot of stories with Big Dog, man. I'll try to think of a good one. He was cool, like I said. We hung out a little bit and stuff like that, and he brought a lot of knowledge to the game. When he got there, you had like three guys that were Team Jordan. Sap was one, Charles Woodson was one, and Randy Moss, and they were like all three of them wanted to get off Jordan, Team Jordan. Sap would be sitting there looking at the Rob report. His locker was next to mine, and Romo's was on the other side, but Sap be sitting there looking at the Rob report and clowning and Oh man, Sap. Oh man, I got some stories. I mean, it's like he was just funny, man. He say anything he wanted to say, but when it came down to playing that game, he knew what he was doing, and he did it. He handled his business for real, for real. True
Yeah,
legend, yeah, true legend. Kept it a beam with everybody. I mean, he ain't never say cut no words short, and never tried to appease nobody. So he was legit, straight up Florida boy. So shit, he was on his own. He was on his thing.
yeah, that's fire, man. That's fire. Yeah, salute to Sap, man. I know some Raider fans kind of go hard on Sap a little bit, but
QB killer. No, he got
QB,
paid. He got his money. He had to won
yeah,
a Super Bowl. He came to us.
yeah,
Al gave him some money, and Sap, he did it how he wanted to do it.
yeah.
He deserved that payday according to him. He got his money, and he got in
Can't
and
get
got
mad
out.
at it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
QB
can't get mad
killer.
at it.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
had the QB killer plates on the back of the bench, two door coupe. So I mean,
Uh,
he was living his best life, having won one against us and then took money from us. I mean,
yeah, yeah. You
yeah, it's
double
kind of
dipping at
like,
that point.
well, come on, we got a good owner right now with Tom Brady doing the same thing,
Right, doing the
So
same thing.
come
Him
on
and
back and get this
Seymour.
done.
Seymour, yeah, yeah. You ain't lying. You lying.
It's all good.
Um, yeah. So before we wrap it up, man, I do want to talk about just some things that you got going on, but just kind of talking about the current Raider team, man. What are your thoughts on kind of what they got going on now? Getting Pete Carroll. Is there anybody that's in college that you kind of like, from a prospect standpoint that maybe we need to think about drafting or anything like that? You got any thoughts on any of that?
Man, at this point, honestly, we need to trade out a number 6
Oh,
and pick something else up later. You don't need a quarterback at 6. In
yeah,
terms of a need as a
right,
backup, you got a
right,
backup or two that you can do that with.
yeah,
And then you got the running back. Moses signs today. You got a
yeah.
better running back. I mean, why would you take a running back? As I was wanting Ashton Genty, unless Moses on a 1 year deal. I don't know. Depending on what kind of deal Moses gets as a back.
Yeah, I'm not
But
sure. Yeah, but
yeah, nah, I mean,
there's so many nice running backs in this draft, though. That's my only thing. There's that it's kind of deep. But Genty is different, but it's deep though.
yeah, I mean, Gino gonna be there, and
Yeah,
then the running back. I mean. I don't know. You take a running back that high. If you can get
yeah,
Genty at 12 or 15, I would trade out of 6 and try to pick up some more draft picks.
I'm
Not
with
needing
you.
a quarterback, not needing a guy to have a Shador or Cam Ward. We ready to set up the win right now on the defensive side of the ball and the offense. So really, this is gonna be a veteran team that ain't no use in drafting no rookie that high at a wide at a running back or a QB. So at 6, I would trade back and shoot. I would probably beef up my O line, and I think the O line might be the least, worked over and trying to flip and get something good off the board. I would take a
Yeah,
nice O lineman, young big O lineman that's gonna come in and add some beef to that offensive front for the running game. And then
yeah,
again, pick up maybe a running back and a quarterback in late first, mid to late first to second round, stuff like that, man. So
yeah. Later
that
on.
that's me. Yeah, that's just me. But
Hey, no, it's all good. Hey, we all coach GM, or couch GMs in our own mind, man. We all think we got the answer. Yeah, like me, I'm not mad at trading back. To be honest, I'm not on the Shador train at all. Genty, I do like Genty, but I think that's a little high. I think there's a lot of good running backs. Me personally, though, I like my boy Will Johnson out of Michigan, that corner, man. Put him on the
mm,
other side of Jacorian Bennett.
there
But
you
I also
go.
like next to Christian Wilkins and Max. That could be something crazy.
Mm.
Um, but you're right though. We got. I mean, we need receive our receiving.
Right. Who's the
Yeah,
deep threat?
yeah,
You may get a nice big
yeah,
target and a deep threat or something like that at
yeah,
6 and you don't move and then gives a nice target, other than that, yeah, I'd get out of there with that.
yeah. No, I'm with you. We're not one or two players away, so we need to go ahead and stack some picks, man. Stack some picks.
Mm.
But yeah, appreciate that though. But what you got going on now, man? I know we kind of talked about, you're a true entrepreneur, true hustler, man. Getting to it.
Uh,
What all you got going on? After football, because you've done a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah, I had to. I mean, again, coming out of the game, but just taking care of my family. I got to do everything I can do. I got to, look at every opportunity I can look at. So I do. I get into entrepreneurship. I'm in the healthcare field, healthcare space. I've been in the healthcare space since 2010. So just, again, at what we're doing with HIP, Head Impact Prevention, just trying to get youth involved back in the game in terms of not being afraid of the injuries. HIP Football League and HIP MD, just trying to make the equipment to, supply my league with, some better equipment or more innovative equipment. So hopefully I'm just trying to equip my football league with with the safer equipment. And if I can do that, that might be something. Networking with, Caladar Fitness as well as an Israeli company with Caladar Fitness AI app, snapping pictures of food that gives you the nutrient ratios, protein, fat, and carbs, what's in your food you're eating. Yeah, I think that's going to be a nice hit on an app perspective and food and nutrition and dietitian perspective, training and eating right. Yep, my flatbed trucking with my business partner Joe Corolla and family, and hauling steel from U.S. Steel and all of these steel manufacturers, recruiting truck drivers here and there, and pushing football players around here and there. They come through my phone to my college, other schools,
Mhm.
consulting, healthcare groups and other companies, helping my business partners out. You know, I'm helping so many people, that one day hopefully somebody will help me, So,
Oh, for sure. That's
just
how it
building,
works, man.
yeah,
That's
just
how it
building
works.
relationships. It ain't all about the money with me. Again, I'm undrafted, never had a signing bonus, never really made no big money, but out here hustling, grinding, still staying relevant in today's game, 20, to over 24, 25 years later. So for me, I'm blessed, fortunate, and I feel highly favored that, the football gods, God and the football gods themselves just give me a chance to continue to meet great people and have some work opportunities. Just got connected with a nice potential, some doctors who did surgery on some guys and was that OBB Operation Backbone. And then talking about getting to some Mission Creek coffee, trying to get in the coffee field. Just
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
you like a
just try.
Jamaican, man. You got 10 jobs.
Well, I
You
think if
get
I had
to it.
a,
I love it.
I think what you could look at it like if I had a mall, a strip mall place, it'd be something that I could basically put in my mall,
Yeah.
stores,
Yeah, a little bit of
Yeah, I look,
everything.
yeah, that's kind of how I
Yeah.
look at it. Serial entrepreneurs are trying to make some, build something and have relationships that'll bring in all of the rest. So it's been fun. It's been quite an adventure. Still working. You see us moving around the world, making moves, making waves, and seeing what we can do in this healthcare space.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I know that especially player safety has been real big, with head injuries and stuff like that. So I think that's real fire, just kind of what you're trying to do there. Because you guys actually kind of created your own helmet, right? To kind of help protect it against concussions and other kind of brain damage or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we looking at again every way we can to try to get this thing figured out. We started with soft shell helmets, what you see on top of the helmets today. We started with
Hmm.
those with hip football. Just took the face mask off. We put some education in the game. I think Jim Tressel, I was having these all-star football games after the season in November for youth. And I think one year I just was after my second Tim Johnson All-Star game at Youngstown with those kids, I felt like, man, I don't want these kids to get hurt playing around in an
Yeah,
all-star game with me,
yeah,
at the last
yeah,
game of the season, going into
yeah,
basketball. I said, you know what? And Tress was like, put some education in the game. I'm like, huh? Education in the game. Okay. So I came up with HIP and I started teaching kids the education, teaching them how to alignment, assignments, techniques. And these kids got better, just learning the game, how to align, how to hit moving gaps and, catch the ball efficiently, watching the ball. So teaching the basic fundamentals before you go to tackling and going crazy with it. The
yeah,
education part kind of that's where we're at. So even the education and equipment and how to safely tackle and play the game. So it just kind of evolved from still in education. I'm still learning new things, and so we're just educating ourselves. And as we learn what we need to do, maybe we'll
Mhm.
get some help in trying to get my brain crown off the ground and see if we can
I love it.
get some safety and health and safety to the players all over the world.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
that's that's fire, man. That's fire because you see people that got them head injuries, and you can't really tell right now, but as you get older you start seeing the effects of it. So that work you're doing is God's work, man. So definitely appreciate that. But man, I went a little over, man. Like I say, I was trying to stay at that hour, just to respect your time, man. But I
No,
I
you
really
good, man. I
appreciate
ain't got nothing going on, man. I ain't got no other shows going on, man. This
it.
this all I got, man. We can stay on here for another 2 hours, man. It's
There we
all
go.
good.
Hey, don't tell me
Yeah.
that. See, don't
Yeah.
tell me that. Hey, I'm
Hey,
a
let's
literal
talk a little
person,
bit,
man.
man. Hey,
Hey,
I already
I
did.
go crack a bottle open. We kick it, man. But
Well,
but I,
I
I do
mean,
I do want to have you on again, man. I'm not sure what your schedule look like, man. But I always enjoy talking ball with someone that really knows it, man. Because it's always different, when you're talking to other. Of course, I'm a couch GM now too, but talking to someone that really know the game, who could talk the details in and out, and not just what they know from Madden or fantasy football. So it's always like a breath of fresh air when I can have someone on here that you could talk it to a different level, man. So I definitely appreciate you for real.
it's all good, bro. I appreciate you for having me on, man. Like I said, we again from second grade or when I'm from a kid all the way to now. I just always loved the game. I don't think during the draft and during the process, I don't know if they ask guys how much do you love this game,
Yeah.
and I don't know that love goes into it anymore because it's all about the money at that level.
All about-
But my passion and love for the game has I saw kids quitting, I saw the game dying and saying, what's going on? People quitting because of concussion. Well, let's see what we could, just I
Yeah.
started attacking the problem and seeing how we could solve it and stuff. So that's just my passion for the game. I love the game. It's a great game. I really prefer not to have head injury problems in it.
Yeah.
I never thought about it being in it. We never knew it was ever a thing until it became a thing. So to see how we unearthing this thing, I remember calling the league in 2010, league office. My homeboy worked in there and told him, let's go back to leather helmets. He laughed me off the phone. Lance LeGree laughed me off the phone.
Hold on, hold
But
on, hold on. Wait. You want to go to these? Shout out to my boy Turf. You want
yeah,
to go to
there you
these? Shout out to
go.
my boy
There you
Turf. This is
go.
my boy Turf's
Chris,
whole helmet, man.
Chris, there you go. There you go.
I'm
Now I know
ready.
that's
Am I
Chris. I
ready?
know
Am I
that's
safe?
Chris.
Am I safer?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I can see your face, just like basketball, baseball, soccer. You got a face now. Oh, Chris, look at Chris balling. Yeah, 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 yeah. I like the fact that I can see you without the face mask.
There we
So,
go, man. There we go.
look at the segments on there like mine. See how it's segmented. See, it
Yeah.
ain't one piece. So see, So we
Man,
do. It's not that. It's just I just always like the option of having when the equipment manager say which helmet you want, which face mask. Okay, the
yeah.
helmet all look the same, but the face mask looks different. So
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm just saying, shoot, what if we had a different looking helmet? Give the guys a different opportunity to look at. Oh, and by the way, it's a little safer. So just loving the game, the passion for it to keep it going, love the future of it. And it's growing internationally with flag and tackle all over the world. So hopefully we can have a hand in getting this thing and making it happen and keeping it going for another 100 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I want to be a part of that.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And I know you when you were overseas a little because you was playing in Germany. What was that experience like? Playing over there.
Oh, well, that was again after coming in the league and being behind Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher, who both of those men went in the Hall of Fame the same night. And I was sitting
Mm,
there because Ray invited me. So I'm sitting there watching Urlacher go in, Ray go in, Randy Moss, all three of my teammates. Yeah,
that's
so
crazy.
big shout out to Lou for the
Oh wait,
invite.
when you was at the Bear, Erlacher was there too. Dang, you
Absolutely.
was around some
I
dogs. You
went
was around
from
some
Ray Lewis
dogs,
to
man.
Urlacher, bro. I didn't play. I sat on practice squad with the Bears almost a whole season, and nobody got hurt. Nothing happened. So after the season, I told Jerry Angelo I'm going to Europe. He's like, "Well, you should stay." And I said, "Listen." I'm went to Youngstown State. I ain't played football in a
Yeah,
whole
I'm
year.
trying to play.
I just went to go play, have fun. I expanded my horizon again, leaving down south, going up north, going from up north to the league, going to the league and having an NFL Europe. I went because I wanted to go, and so it was a great experience. Played in World Bowl 10. She went out there. Hey, my ex-wife is, and my children are from my ex-wife from Germany. Met her out there back then. Got married, came here, had 3, 4 beautiful kids now, which they're back in Germany living their best
Mm,
life, and stuff. So I've made a real life. I'm back and forth to Europe as an international dad now. I mean, really changed my life. And
yeah,
nothing I would change about it other than being with my kids every day and getting out all of this rat race stuff to make money to feed them. But other than
yeah.
that, yeah, that's gonna be a lifetime deal. But other than that, feeding my family is most important to me. But NFL Europe, again, I got it. I've been invited to back to Germany next year for the Super Bowl. Just to hang
Mm,
out, bring an NFL presence as a former player, bring some friends over to watch the game and hang out.
that's
So
nice.
yeah, I'm international. I went international in '02, and I'm international today in the global business.
International Tim,
Mhm.
international TJ. I see you.
Yeah, yeah, it's real. It's real. So I love this game worldwide, and I'm spreading the love and sharing the game with people all over the world. So it's really a blessing. I'm humble.
Yeah. Would you consider doing any? I know you coached over there. Would you do any coaching here, like at a professional level, or you kind of want to be in the background a little bit?
Man, I'm itching to coach, man. I'm making calls, I'm reaching out to guys, seeing who got spaces. I like to know, I like to stay in the loop of, hey, I could potentially jump in there if you need me. I always stay connected on a pro, college, and a high school level. But
Yeah.
then my youth football league is, I don't want to leave it behind because the babies is what matters the most. So if I can teach the future
Yeah.
players of the league in the years, which we got babies coming up now in high school, some of them in college, some of them going pro. So
Yeah.
we raising the youth. I think I like teaching youth better. They more soft, they more open to learning, want
Yeah.
to
To
learn, and
feedback and all that.
feedback. Yeah, you can help a lot of more kids. It's over 2 million youth playing the game.
Yeah.
So in that genre, in that whole group, we definitely want to help that whole group out. So I like the youth. If I do anything, I'd love to have. I like to say hip is the new pop. We the new pop Warner.
Yeah.
We get the league going, get the equipment going. We want youth to come over and play with us in our league with different equipment. Hopefully, the equipment will be the attraction.
Yeah. Yeah. And plus,
Mhm.
and dealing with the youth at that age, you're really you can help mold their life too.
Mhm.
Especially in certain urban areas, man. You can you know really get into that mentorship just by having that league. So, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. You making an impact on all levels, man, for sure, for
I
sure.
appreciate the support, bro. I appreciate the support.
Yep,
Really do.
yep. Where can that, everybody find you, man? One of my mods, Myra or somebody, man, put his link, with his social media. But where can people want to, if they want to see you on social media and follow you, where can they find you?
Okay, yeah. What's up, man? Big shout out to Myra, who, like you say, who introduced us and hooked us up. At the end of the day, man, my big thing is LinkedIn. Not a lot of people on LinkedIn or use
Yeah.
LinkedIn. I'm over there doing business and making relationships and contacts and connections over there. You can find me on LinkedIn, Tim Johnson, Hip MD, uh,
Okay.
Facebook, Tim Johnson. I got two pages
IG.
over there. IG one Tim Johnson, Hip underscore football, IG hip MD underscore LLC, IG. So we got the social media going. One Tim Johnson on TikTok and that. So the end of the day, man, reach out, follow us, share what we're doing, get involved, and say Hip MD, uh, spin off of Hip Football. And that's the big thing to try to get the game in a health in more innovative state, healthier and innovative state
Yeah.
than we are currently. So no, I appreciate the support and any followers we can pick up. It'd be great.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it, man. Again, man, let's make sure we do this again, man. I'm not sure when you free, and like I say, I
Right.
like talking ball, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to my people. I know you met, you know, my boys from, you know, the Raider War Room, my boy Severe and my boy 805. Those are the ones that, you know, we had that
Okay.
event in Vegas with, you know,
Right.
so I know you had the chance to meet them. But then
Right.
my other boys, man, you know, part of the, you know, we call ourselves TRS, the Raider Syndicates. That's my boy. Oh, you met Cheeto Linus. He was there. But then my boy Turf, whose helmet this is, that's how old he is. He go by the Ultimate Raider Fan 32, but that's my brother, man. So him and also our young brother, man, the Raider Rundown, you know. So we all just been grinding, trying to get good content up, man. But you know, I definitely appreciate you, man. We'll make sure we do it again, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, man. Like I say, the draft coming up and all that. We got some opportunities. So just let me know, bro. I appreciate the opportunity. Keep doing your thing over here with Project Protect the Shield, and man, it's gonna be a great, great season. I think we figure it out. The Raiders will sit there and win 11, 10 games. If you don't figure it out, 11 to 12 games, kind of like the Commanders did this year with a new court. I think we can do some stuff with a new quarterback and a new coach. So I think 10. I mean, with Max back and all this defensive additions, I see us being 10, 11 win season. So
Oof,
yeah,
oof.
we'll have a lot to talk about with that going on.
Yeah, we will. I hope you're right. The Raiders have broke my heart so much. I'm like, hey, I'm curbing my optimism until they prove it, man. So
It take Tom Brady, Pete Carroll, all
that's
those
true.
coaches,
There's some greatness.
and
Some
Gino. It
greatness
take greatness to get to where you got to get to. We'll be fine. Max Crosby will be fine.
for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
All right, man. Well,
All right,
I
bro.
appreciate it, man. You stay
Yes, sir.
blessed, man.
Salute.
We'll
Yes,
stay in
sir.
contact.
Bless up. Okay.
Yes, sir, man. Take care, man.
On.
Yep. Man, everybody, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. Salute to my boy Tim Johnson, man. That was a goodie, man. I had a couple of technical difficulties in the beginning, man, but I appreciate you guys rocking with me, man. That was a fun show. That was a fun show, and I appreciate everybody that's in the building, man. Got a lot of people over there on X, man. Salute to everybody that's out there on X. You know, if you guys didn't get a chance to watch the whole show, man, make sure you come on over to Protect the Shield on YouTube, man, so you can check out the whole show. He had some fire stories, man. We talked about the whole Super Bowl year, the ins and outs, you know, some behind the scenes stories and all that stuff, man, of that year. So it was real good, man. Real good. I always enjoy being able to talk to people that can give me some behind the scenes info, man. But salute to everybody, man. My boy Severe's in the building, cracking jokes, man. Chris treating this interview game like Kenneth Grant. My man. Myra G, as always, man. Appreciate you. My boy Rebel in the building, Alon Bush in the building. Got my boy Farrell in the building, man. All you guys, Turfs in the building. You know, so many to name, man. So many names. So I appreciate every last one of you guys. Got Steve came in. So man, but just make sure you guys, man, like I always say, man, hit the like button for me, man. You know, hit the like button for me. I don't ask you guys for much, man. You know, to hit the like button. If you know someone that enjoys Raider content, again, I'm not one of the big dogs yet. I'm going to be, but I'm not there yet. But you know, I'm working hard at this. Me and my team, the Raider War Room and the Raider Syndicate, man. We're coming, man. We're coming. Pause. So, man, salute to everybody, man. I appreciate every last one of you guys, man. But like I always say, players and coaches, they come and go, but we must always protect the shield. You guys be safe. Love y'all, man.
We be them Raiders.